At the point when collapsed level, it looks like an immense 17 inches tablet. Be that as it may, twist the screen up at 90-degree point, and it will look like a more customary clamshell PC. Asus even packages a Bluetooth console that sits on the base screen, so a bystander would effectively expect this is only a conventional PC. With such flexibility, this is one of my #1 takes on the 2-in-1 PC design yet, proving more useful than a 360-degree pivot, and at a more prominent scope than tablets with a separable console like the Surface Pro. However noteworthy as the foldable innovation seems to be, this PC isn't without its issues. Asus cautions that the plastic screen is powerless to scratches, while the expense to make such a PC is cosmically high, to such an extent that it's hard to prescribe to any individual who isn't an innovation lover loaded. In any case, even the people who can't bear the cost of the Asus Zenbook 17 Overlap OLED ought to check out this foldable PC. As though the cost descends from now on, I can see this structure factor in the long run turning into a famous choice. Design. Foldable design takes into consideration odds of adaptability. Screen has wrinkle checks and is prone to scratches. Packaged Bluetooth console is fine for composing. At the point when collapsed level, the Asus Zenbook 17 Crease OLED seems to be a monstrous 17 inches tablet. As a matter of fact, it's so enormous and weighty that you probably will not have the option to utilize it like a conventional tablet for by far most of time. Luckily, the Zenbook 17 Overlay isn't simply a tablet, as its champion component is the capacity to twist into a 90-degree point, appearing as a clamshell PC. This is just the second standard PC to accomplish such an accomplishment, so it has the wow factor that can take the look of a whole office. Like with any foldable, the Zenbook 17 Overlap experiences wrinkling. View the gadget at a point, and you'll see appalling wrinkle stamps directly down the center. Luckily, they're not apparent while review the screen straight on, however could turn into an issue in the event that various individuals are endeavoring to watch a film. Setting the packaged Bluetooth console onto the base portion of the screen will make the crease seem to be a conventional PC and truly not an incredible looking one because of the thick dark bezel. However, what the overlap needs looks, it compensates for with usefulness. The gadget will immediately perceive that you've actuated PC mode. Thus will switch Windows 11 in like manner so your application or program window is shown in the top portion of the screen. Eliminate the console, and it will flick over to tablet mode similarly as fast. The drawback of PC mode is that you're left with a 12.5 inches screen, which is tiny. You for the most part just get financial plan amicable workstations this little, for example, Microsoft Surface PC Go 2. A console would sporadically separate from the gadget as well, particularly while waking the overlap. Rebooting the console would quite often settle the issue, yet all at once it's actually irritating. All things considered, I actually observed the console to be entirely usable for composing up this survey. The trackpad is smooth and responsive as well, so I have no bad things to say in that area. There are certainly not an incredible number of ports on the Overlap 17. You get 2x USB-C associations, as well as a headphone jack. That is all there is to it. Asus essentially provides a USB-C to USB-A dongle in the crate. Yet that is not a helpful choice for the people who need to utilize this gadget in a hurry. Contrasted with different workstations, particularly costing this much, the port determination is poor. There's better information on the webcam front, as Asus has incorporated a 5MP sensor. I was charmingly shocked by the catch quality, with splendid punchy varieties and sharp detail. It's perhaps of the best webcam on a PC I've found in a very long time. It's integrated into the top bezel when the gadget is in clamshell PC mode. Be that as it may, assuming that you're involving it in tablet mode, the sensor will rather be found on the left edge, which is a smidgen off kilter. You'll likewise find speakers on the gadget's edge, which are prepared to do clearly and itemized sound. I was completely glad to utilize the overlap speakers while watching films, or in any event, relaxing to Spotify playlists. What's more, whenever you're done utilizing the gadget, you can overlap it up like a book, even with the console still set up. This makes it simpler to heft around than a standard tablet, and can without much of a stretch slip into a little sack. Screen OLED show looks incredible, raises a ruckus around town spot for goal. Asus doesn't exhort use with pointer, as its name infers. The Asus Zenbook 17 Crease OLED includes a 17 inches OLED screen, and it's a stunner. Because of the OLED innovation, colors look energetic and there's ideal differentiation here to guarantee splendid articles stand apart well from dim foundations. The goal comes in at 2560x1920, which will be sharp enough for the vast majority. You can obviously get much better pixel thickness from 4 Kelvin showcases and such. However, I for one would have zero desire to pay considerably something else for this gadget, or affect the battery duration further. Contrast is unbelievable thanks to the OLED board, while the 99.8% sRGB and 97% DCI-P3 inclusion mean it can introduce colors accurately enough for imaginative professionals. The overlay is a touchscreen as well, permitting you to utilize it like a tablet. It in fact upholds a pointer, despite the fact that Asus isn't promoting that, as it stressed the sharp nib might actually cause scratches since the screen is so fragile, stressed over the screen snapping in half after such a large number of folds. Asus claims the pivot can serenely endure 30,000 cycles, in spite of the fact that I had opportunity and willpower to test that. Execution. Essential computer chip execution. Not prepared to do graphically extreme jobs. Windows isn't ideal for contact route, in spite of the lavish design and value. The Asus Zenbook 17 Overlay OLED has an essential processor managing everything, the Intel Center i7-1250U. This U-series Intel chip isn't exactly essentially as strong as its P-series cousins, and that implies PCs like the Dell XPS 13 or more, LG Gram 16 and Acer QuickX all brag a speedier execution, regardless of being accessible for a portion of the cost. In the event that speed is fundamentally important, the Asus Zenbook 17 Crease OLED isn't really for you. Asus has attempted to improve this viewpoint by means of the Screen Expert application, which can be opened by squeezing the little symbol as an afterthought. Screen Expert empowers you to rapidly change the scene mode, or even switch between all of the open applications. Yet, it actually doesn't compensate for Windows weaknesses. The Asus Zenbook 17 Overlap OLED packs a 1TB SSD, which our benchmark tests show to have perused and compose rates of 887 MB per second, and 569 MB per second individually. Those are phenomenal velocities, which ought to improve the presentation while booting up the gadget or opening up an introduced application. Battery duration. Endured 6 HRS and 30 minutes in PC structure. Battles to hit 6 hours as a tablet. In the wake of auditing endless PCs throughout the long term, I've begun to see a few warnings that for the most part bring about unfortunate battery duration. The Asus Zenbook 17 Overlay OLED has 3 of these warnings. An OLED screen, huge showcase with high goal and a thin design. Thus, it was anything but an incredible shock to see the overlap accomplish unfortunate battery duration results, while circling video on YouTube with 150-nit screen splendor. The foldable PC was simply ready to most recent 6 hours and 30 minutes in clamshell PC mode. That is an unfortunate outcome whether you contrast the Crease with either rival PCs or tablets. I can comprehend the reason why that is the situation, as fitting a sizable battery inside a foldable gadget is continuously going to be troublesome, while the tremendous OLED screen will unavoidably be a huge power channel. Finally, thanks for watching this video. See you again next time.